All right, let's just jump right into this. You ever been at work, you're plugging away, and you notice your colleague heading out for what, their third smoke break of the day, and nobody says a word? But what if you just stood up and stared out the window for 5 minutes? Kind of feels different, right? Yeah, that feeling, that's what we're digging into today. It's this strange, unwritten rule of work culture, a little glitch in the system that we're about to tear down. This whole thing kicked off with a really simple observation from a user we're calling the architect. They noticed that in certain jobs, especially the ones where you're on your feet all day, people seem to smoke more. And they asked this brilliant question, why? It's not just about the addiction, it's about permission. And that one little question, well, it pulls back the curtain on a hidden rule that pretty much affects all of us. And this just nails the heart of the problem. Picture it, right? A guy on a construction site leans on his shovel, pulls out his tobacco, his papers, and he slowly, deliberately rolls a cigarette. It's a whole ritual. It takes a few minutes, and everyone sees it as a totally legit break. Now picture the guy next to him. He just stops, leans on his shovel, does nothing. Instantly, the perception changes from he's taking a break to he's slacking off. It's the same amount of time, the same lack of work, but the judgment is completely different. So what is going on here? This isn't just some random workplace thing. It's a systemic bug. It's a real flaw in our collective programming, and it actually has a name. So let's get to the diagnosis. We call it the legitimized pause paradox. So what does that even mean? The legitimized pause paradox is this flaw in our thinking where we don't actually value rest for what it is. Nope. Instead, we only give ourselves permission to rest when it's disguised as something else, some kind of activity, a ritual. The cigarette isn't just a cigarette, it's a permission slip. And because of that, the whole system ends up rewarding an unhealthy habit just because it gives a socially acceptable excuse to stop working for a minute. Let's just break that down, look at them side by side. On the left, you've got the smoker. Their break is seen as this defined thing. It has a start, a middle, an end. They're having a cigarette. But on the right, the non-smoker, their break just seems totally aimless. They're doing nothing. It feels unstructured, maybe even a little lazy. The key thing here is that the cigarette acts as a prop, a physical justification for hitting the pause button. So why on earth does this weird glitch keep going? Well, because psychologically, it kind of works for everyone. For the employee who smokes, it's a guilt-free pass. Hey, my addiction makes me do it. For the employer, it's a predictable weakness, It feels more controllable than someone just randomly deciding to stop working. And believe it or not, it also creates these little social pods, a sub-team of smokers, which can make the break feel almost like networking. It's a weirdly stable system. Okay, so we've diagnosed the bug. Now what? How do we actually fix it? Because we can't just pretend people don't need to rest. The answer is we have to install a system patch. We need to consciously reprogram those unwritten rules in our workplaces and finally separate the need for rest from the excuse of smoking. And this patch, it gets installed in 3 simple steps. First, we've got to make the micropause an unofficial thing. Give it a name, like discharge time. Second, we need to totally redefine what productivity looks like. Being busy all the time doesn't mean you're doing good work. Strategic rest absolutely does. And third, you create a neutral zone, an alternative to the smoking area, where just doing nothing for a few minutes is the whole point. Now, theory is great and all, but we need tools we can actually use. So let's get to the user manual. This is how you literally install this update where you work, whether you're an employer, you're the boss. We're talking about actual scripts you can use tomorrow morning, designed to frame this whole change in a way that's pretty hard to argue with. Okay, if you're an employee, here's your script. Your new code. You don't ask for a break. You propose preventative maintenance. That language is everything. It frames your pause not as slacking off, but as an investment in doing better work. You're not being lazy. You're being smart. You're staying sharp to prevent mistakes down the line. You're basically saying, hey, that reset the smoker's gut, it works. I need one too. And for the managers listening, this script is for you. This is how you reprogram your entire team. You start by acknowledging the positive effect of the smoker's breaks, that reset, but you immediately call out the unfairness. Then you flip the switch. Rest goes from being something you tolerate to an official directive. It's not a privilege anymore, it's a professional expectation for every single person. Rest is part of the job. That's a powerful shift. Now, how you do this is absolutely everything. When you take this new official pause, the golden rule is this. Don't hide. Don't go scroll on your phone in a dark corner. Be visible about it. Just stand up, stretch, look out the window. Then when you get back to your desk, you restart with noticeable energy. This body language is so critical. It sends a signal to everyone that your pause wasn't random. It was intentional. It was effective. It was maintenance. And to make this new rule really stick in people's minds, you need a visual anchor, a simple reminder of the updated code. An equation, just like this one, works perfectly. A recovery moment with a tool, like a cigarette, is now officially equal to a recovery moment without a tool. It just visually levels the playing field and makes the new rule something everyone gets in a split second. And honestly, this brings us to the most fundamental point of this entire explainer. The whole goal of this system patch is to get right here. You shouldn't have to look for an excuse to recharge. Your need to stay focused, to do quality work, that is the only justification you will ever need. So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. By reprogramming how we see this, we change the entire meaning of a break. Is taking 5 minutes to clear your head really stealing time from your company, or is it essential maintenance that you have to do to keep the most important asset in any business, your brain, running at its absolute best?